I had some struggles in the past, low self-esteem, trauma, fear of rejection, and emotional wounds. They all are very easy to say, but have you ever felt like there is no man out there, especially if you're a Christian woman? There is no man out there that can be your match, that you feel like you're never going to get married, you're never going to be able to form that family that you want, and you feel like there is no hope. Well, I'm here to tell you my story and a little bit of why I married at 37. And I'm gonna keep my hand here because it's kind of like the sun is right on my face. So I married at 37. I found my husband a little late in life. I really never dreamed about getting married with a white dress and all that, but I knew that if that was my vocation, my calling from God, I will be getting married in a white dress in the church. So later in life, I felt desire for that companionship and the family, but actually it was something that I always knew that I will end up doing if I find the person, the right one for me. And I think that's just fair. We all want the right person. I am not here to judge anyone. Your circumstances are unknown to me, and I only know my journey, my story, and I want to share that with you in hopes that it gives you that it helps you in any way. So to start with, why is that I got married at 37? I will say that I had some struggles in the past, low self-esteem, trauma, fear of rejection, and emotional wounds. They all are very easy to say, but very hard to live. And sometimes you may not be even aware that you have such things to deal with. You just live life and you wonder why things are the way they are. But deep down, I wanted to protect myself from being hurt, and I wanted to protect myself from the hardships that come with relationships, and that was my way to control things. I really think I grew up in that mindset of there is only hardship in relationships and you need to protect yourself. So I kind of like in a way was sabotaging myself, and that way I prevented myself from meeting the person and being in the right places and times to meet the person that I thought it was ideal for me. I was trying to protect myself from my own self, from choosing the wrong person, because I wasn't the right person yet. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I also consider myself a little bit of I have difficulty with emotions, with relating to the people in general, both women and men. Maybe because of my relationship with my dad and my mom. I don't want to go too much into how they raised me, but I want to say that it wasn't in a way or conducive for me to have a high emotional intelligence. I don't think that I had the right coping mechanisms or the knowledge to use coping mechanisms for anxiety, for depression, and it was easier to use control and manipulation. It was like I knew how to manage those or navigate that kind of relationship with others, and in a way I also learned to do that. A lot of controlling the environment, the things that will affect me, the things that will happen to me, and it all comes from different situations while I was growing up. So that made it difficult for me when I was older, in my 20s and then my 30s. I, of course, was on my way to heal, thanks be to God. And I say that not as a cliche or as a phrase that I just repeat, but as literally the way that God was working in my life was marvelous and miraculous, and it took time because time it's very important. It has to be God's timing, and it's a process. He has a lot of patience for those healing processes. So I initially hope someone will come and save me, like a person, a man that will just take care of me and learn how to love me the way I was, and be my kind of like aspirin or Tylenol for all my aches and pains emotionally. But later I realized that only God can deal with my wounds. I don't say heal my wounds, because sometimes God has cleaned my wounds, and they are not infected anymore, but they are still there. So I cannot say that I don't have wounds. I can say that they are being managed by God, and that they are His wounds, that He's taking care for me in the way that He sees the best. And some of the wounds just go away and they close, and they're no more, only the scar. But some are, and I understand this is all metaphorical and not very tangible, but I promise that at the end it kinda all makes sense. So especially if you're a believer, I hope that we can tune in the same conversation here. So as I matured, I understood that no one is perfect, that there will be no perfect hero in my life, no savior like Jesus. And I knew that I want, at some point something clicked in myself, and I realized I wasn't perfect, and therefore, because I had been working on myself, trying to be a better person, giving my wounds to God, learning to trust in Him, He will just give me, or not give me, but help me be in the right place at the right time, to find the right person that wasn't going to be the perfect person. There is no flawless person out there, but the two of us will be growing in the faith and in our lives together. And that was key for me to find the right person. Maybe I moved from finding the perfect person to finding the right person for me. So when I was ready, I was actively looking for somebody, but when I just let go of the obsession, I guess, to find somebody. I just put myself available out there in different ways. One was to be part of the meetups. There was a website that was popular back in the day called Meetups, and you will, belong to different clubs, if you will, to say it that way, and you meet with people and you get to know people with different interests that and maybe similar than yours. And also I was in a website called Catholic Match. So I started healing those wounds. I started feeling better. My depression, my anxiety. I was really busy finishing my master's. My master's was in psychology, so it was helping me figure out things. I believe, God has helped us to develop psychology to figure out ourselves, but also God has to be part of it all, right? It's not just one thing. I like I said, made myself available in those websites. And I met my husband online. When I met him, I was just really really good at knowing what to look for in the profiles from people. I knew what I wanted to find. I wanted a well-rounded person, somebody that was enjoying life, somebody that knew how to have fun, but at the same time had and shared my same values and beliefs in the Catholic Church, in my faith. So somebody who was actively and who was practicing the faith, somebody who had a stable job, and somebody who shared my morals and goals. So I really wanted somebody that knew how to keep a balance on all these things, and avoided extreme beliefs or things like that, and also who was seeking virtue and stability. It was very important. And of course I kept on praying to God to help me be in the right place and at the right time to meet that person, and also in the right space of mind to be able to meet the person. So I learned through this process of making myself available to trust in God. So God's timing, like they say, it's perfect, and He's just wanting to really help you grow as a person, be available to serve others, be available to help others, not be so obsessive about finding somebody, being with somebody, but using your time wisely in helping others, because really that is what makes us happy, in my opinion. Nothing like being by yourself, spending all of your money on yourself, spending all of your time by yourself. It's going to make you as happy as sharing your time with somebody who needs it. And that is how I think God is preparing us for a family, because when we have a family, a husband, a wife, kids, it's all about serving them, helping them, and sharing a life together. So healing and growth are necessary before meeting the right person, and that I think you do that by letting God show you the way, praying. Like I said, the way, the path of serving others, it's always a really safe place or safe path to find God's will. In hindsight, I can see how God protected me from the wrong relationships and protected me to not fall into things that I did not believe in to start with, and guided me throughout the process. And throughout all this time, I was serving at church, helping with different things. I was not a perfect Christian. I am not right now. I will never be. If you're still waiting for the right person, focus on yourself in a way that you can help others, serve others, improve yourself, improve your life, and improve your emotional intelligence. Instead of chasing love, let love find you in the right place and time, and you will find the person, or they will find you. Once you find the person, and this happened to me, I realized that this is just the beginning of the real journey of more self-growth and more healing for myself. This is not like the happy endings in movies and Disney stories, because there is always ups and downs, there is always difficulties and sufferings, but with God and His grace, everything is possible. I've been married now for 9 years, and we are still learning how to love each other. It's a everyday task, and we are both really grateful. We were open to find each other, and to be honest, love is a daily choice. We choose daily to love each other, and are very grateful to glorify God through the sacrament of matrimony. Waiting, I know, can be difficult, but nothing is impossible for God. Like I said, work on yourself, on serving others, on your faith, your humility. Become that person that God is intended you to be. I could have never done anything that I've done in my life without God, because all of the things that are good come from God, and the bad things are my doing. So when you focus on God, like the Bible says, everything else comes into place, and as a consequence of that choice that you're making every day to love God in others. I remember my psychologist, who is a wonderful psychologist in California, used to tell me that when he helped somebody is when he found his wife. If he had never helped that somebody, he will have never met his wife. So God is love, but we gotta practice it in helping others and looking for what is needed around us. So as a conclusion, Love and marriage are not about perfection, but about growing together with God. And I just think that trusting in God's plan for your life is the best. It's not about finding the perfect person, but it's about doing God's will and being the best loving person that you can be to others. You at the end are His eyes, His hands, His feet, and He is always going to need you to do the good deeds that he's asking you to do. And in the process, you will probably find somebody else who is also in the same page, helping others and being a charitable person who doesn't think only about themselves. And at the end, you don't want somebody like that for your marriage, because that will be really not very loving marriage, right? You need to practice to love others, to try to help them. When I met my husband, I think we both were in the same page on our faith journey. I was a cradle Catholic. I was born Catholic. He was born Catholic too, but he reverted or went back to the faith later in life. So he was in fire when I met him, meaning he wanted to really, practice his faith, and he was learning about it so much. So I met him in the right place. If he had never went back to the church and signed up for Catholic match because of wanting to find somebody with the same values and morals, we will have never met each other, because we will have never crossed paths. So share with us in the comments what are your opinions and your experiences about this. So that's all for today. Thank you, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it if you find it helpful, and we'll see each other next time. Thanks, my friend. Bye bye.